afternoon สวัสดีครับ ERC Commissioner and distinguished delegates. We now come to the afternoon session, the first session of today, the first day of the ERC Forum 2024. Title or theme of this session is Thailand Highlight Energy Policy and Deregulation to Mobilize Energy Transition. We'll talk about experience and challenges of energy regulator and policy by the year 2030 and beyond, and also update on post-COP28 activities in Thailand. I'm privileged to be joining on my panel today, 3 panelists. All of them are Thai. In fact, we should be speaking in Thai, but in the interest of this international forum, we will be presented in English. The first panelist, Dr. Weerapat Kiatphirngphu, Director General of the Energy Policy and Planning Office, or EPPO. Dr. Weerapat is an economist or finance man in background and has a long and distinguished career within the EPPO, homegrown EPPO man. So he's very well versed in both oil price and electricity price and renewable energy and energy efficiency. And next is Kun Jirawan, Rojana Charanchai, it's not in English yet, Assistant Secretary General OERC. So Kun Jirawan actually started her career with EPPO also, but now I think she had to make way for Kun Weerapat, so she moved to ERC. she will economist also. Engineer. Okay. She will talk about what ERC is doing on energy policy and regulation. And last but not least is Kun Pawit Kesawong, the Deputy Director General of the newly mint department in Thailand, Department of Climate Change and Environment. So the format will be the same, and perhaps because we start late, maybe you can keep it shorter than 15 minutes each. I will give everyone about 15 minutes to speak about what you have on this highlight on energy policy and regulation on energy transition. And then I will have the second round of about 3 to 5 minutes about the comment and Q&A. So starting with Dr. Weerapat Kiatphirngphu, Director General of EPPO, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Khuruchit, and distinguished guests. Good afternoon. I would like to thank you, the ERC, today for giving an opportunity to tell what Thailand has now been doing about the energy policy. But if I would like to talk about all the policy, it would take maybe 3 hours, not 20 minutes that I got in this event. Today, so we'll focus on only the power development plan in my presentation, but actually the national energy plan, we comprise of 5 long-term plans. Altogether with the power development plan, alternative energy development plan, the energy efficiency plan, the oil plan, and the gas plan. However, each plan sync to each other, and we are going to make it, we call the national energy plan, which comprise of these 5 long-term plans. The plans that I'm going to talk about today, when we say this long-term plan, but the plan ends in the year 2037. It's not 2050 that we are commit carbon neutrality in 2050, but because of the national strategic plan end in 2037, so that's why our plan end in 2037. But anyway, we have an outlook until 2050 that we are going to meet the carbon neutrality target. Today, I just start with the situation that Thailand, we are an important country. We we have the primary energy supply and consumption. You can see that for the supply, we import about, I think, 70 to 80% we import and from other countries. And if you take a look at the final energy consumption, the petroleum product is the largest portion that we have used. But in power sector, that we are going to focus on the power development plan. Power sector account for 24%, but in that 24%, for the first since the January to March 2024, the energy that we already use it 58,000 gigawatt hour already since January until March. But in that 58,000 gigawatt hours, 60% from natural gas. We have 10% from renewable energies. We import from Laos as a hydro power, 12%. We have our own hydro, but it's very small. And we still have lignite and coal, about 15%. This year, our system peak is the highest in history that we have because we have installed capacity of about 53,000 megawatt. This year, our system peak is almost 37,000 megawatt. It happened on the 2nd of May at night, 10 p.m. That why is quite related to our PDP that we are now going to focus on, because when we think about we are going to increase renewable energy in our plan, we did talk about the wind, we did talk about the solar, we did talk about biogas, biomass, for example, and hydro. But the thing is, if we can see the system peak happen at night, it means that the solar is one of the problems that we have to see in our power development plan, because we cannot rely on solar during the night time. We can rely on only at the moment, the base load combined cycle power plant that we have, and also some wind. However, in terms of doing that, if we want to meet the carbon neutrality in 2050, it means that we have to do some way, somehow to reduce the emission from the base load power plants. Take a look at the target that we have in Thailand about the carbon neutrality. We set carbon neutrality in 2050, but in 2030 we have the nationally determined contribution (NDC) target. We are going to reduce the greenhouse gas by 30 to 40% from the BAU emission that we project that in 2030, how much emission we have in 2030, and we have to reduce from that BAU by 30 to 40%. But in that reduction, if we talk about them, 30% or 40%, is about 222 million ton per annum. In the energy sector, we have to reduce about 216 million ton per annum in the energy sector only, just to meet NDC target. And that one target. Another target is the carbon neutrality. You can see that if we are going to meet the carbon neutrality in 2050, emission from energy sector have to be around 95.5 million ton per annum. That the thing that we have to take into account when we plan in our PDP, not only PDP, but all the national energy plan that include all 5 long-term plans that we are now thinking. So for the national energy plan, we have the direction. Unfortunately, the plan haven't yet done. We are in the process of making the new plan that we are going to propose to the government by September this year. However, for the direction that the National Energy Plan has focused on is we are going to increase renewable energy in generation sector, in power generation sector by to more than 50% in 2037. Another thing is we are going to increase the energy intensity or improve the energy efficiencies by more than 30%. Another thing is that we take into account is the EV as well. We have seen the growth of EV for the past 2 or 3 years that we have, and we have the EV master plan that set the target that in 2030 the production of car, 30% of production of car have to be EV. So that's the EV 30 at 30 target. That three key direction that we are put in our national energy plan and the plan, the long-term plan that is a sub-plan under the national energy plan that I talk about, the 5 sub-plans have to follow this direction. Another thing is the 41E, this is insight that we have to do in our ministry. For example, the digitalization that we have to improve the system, the decarbonization, the rectification, the decentralization, and deregulation. That the thing that we take into account because of, for example, the decentralization, when we said that we are going to increase the renewable energies to more than 50% in 2037, it means that we have to, the new power plant that will become in the system is smaller because most of the renewable is VSPP, and the system is not centralized anymore. It's become this distributed generation that may change the industry as a whole. And as we've seen that we have seen so many technology is coming, and we have seen so many businesses coming, microgrid system, we can talk about peer-to-peer, we can talk about everything that changed the behavior of people who use the power has changed the industry. So we have to take into account all of this. In the PDP, we have triangle that we are focused on. The first triangle is the security. So when we think about the power plant that we are going to put in, security become the first one. We have to consider the base load power plant. We have to consider reliability of the system. We have to think about how much the battery energy storage system that could ensure the stability when renewable energy increase in the future. Another thing is the price, the affordability of the people. When we think about we are going to improve the system, we are going to increase the renewable energy. One thing is the affordability, that the price that we cannot let the price going up as much because we have to take care of the people and the competitiveness of the countries. The last thing I already mentioned that we have the target of the environment. So it means that in this triangle we have to taking care of this. But the challenge is when we talk about the security, it means that we have a problem with the renewable because if we add lots of renewable energies, how about the security of the system? Particularly, as I said earlier, that the peak demand happen during the nighttime. How about the security that we are going to cope with the peak demand during the nighttime? That one thing that we are now considering in the plan. The key assumption that we put in our PDP, the security criteria, we used to use we call the reserve margin, and we used to set that the reserve margin should be around 15%. But because of the renewable is coming, and we have seen that renewable we cannot. I can say that we cannot rely on renewable. It's not stable. I can say. The solar can produce during the sun time, and the wind, the wind turbine can run during the wind when we have the wind. So it means that the system is not stable. That's why we have to think about another criteria that we are going to ensure the security of the system. So we change to the lot of loads expectation OLE, and we set the highest. The ceiling of not higher than 0.7 days per year. Another thing is the renewable energy that I already mentioned, that we are going to increase renewable by not less than 50% in 2037. We have we already have the plan until 2030 that we have already announced the first phase of renewable energy purchasing of 5,000 megawatt. But the next step, I think that this year we are going to announce another phase of about 3,600 megawatt of renewable energy. Another thing is that we put in our portfolio development plan that we are going to think about the demand response as well. So we think that the demand response could help us reduce the long-term marginal power plants that we are going to build. The one idea that we are going to develop the demand response program. For the candidate power plant, we take a look at the combined cycle power plant that use natural gas, yes, for base load. But we think about the combined cycle power plant that use natural gas vs the hydrogen. We have the gas engine power plant, LNG. For clean energy, we have so many candidates that we are now putting in our new PDP, the pump storage hydropower plant, the solar, wind, RE, biomass, biogas waste. Even in this model, we have put the small modular reactor as well in our plan. That one thing that we are consider into this power development plan. For the other is the battery and carbon capture that we are now taking into account when we want to. As I said, that when we think about the base load power plant, that we are going to reduce the carbon emission from the base load. But if you take a look at for the existing power plant, base load power plant that we have at the moment until the end of 2037, we don't have to. I can say that if Thailand not do anything and leave this existing base load power plant run, the emission will meet the ceiling maybe at the end of the plan. But if we are not do anything about the base load power plant or reduce the carbon emission from the base load power plant, we cannot meet the target of carbon neutrality. That's why CCS and BSS and hydrogen become a part that we are consider to reduce the emission of the base load power plant. This is the current status that we have them for the RE. For the domestic RE, we have 30% of domestic RE. Energy intensity now we have them 7.46 ton per ton of oil equivalent per million baht. Also, the cumulative of EV we have 131,000 already, and it's keep growing. And also the EV charger that we have 2,600 location with 6,600 chargers. But in our plan, we are going to increase to about the 12,000 chargers. So with 12,000 chargers in the EV 30 plan is only, we talk only the fast charge, public fast charge, that 12,000 is not include the charging at home or at, for example, at condominium or apartment. It's not included. It's only the public fast charge along the road. That's the target of 12,000 chargers. This triangle, I already said that this is a challenge that if we want to improve the security, how can we meet the environment? If we focus on the affordability, how can we meet the environment as well? For example, because of EV increase RE in the next future, what some says that RE cost is reducing, for particularly the solar, but in terms of improving the infrastructure to support the distributed generation is need lots of investment as well. We haven't talked about this much, but to change the system, to change the industry, to develop the industry to support this kind of renewable energy that is going to come in the future, it takes lots of investment. That one thing that we are considered as well. However, there are some change, there's change that become the opportunity as well because when the energy technology changes, we have the new technology and innovation development that's come into the industry. We if we have the good energy production consumption, the link between international trade and environment policies, and if we have the technology that's come to change the infrastructure, it might reduce the energy cost as well because we have so many, we have the smart, I call smart grid that can, and smart platform that can manage the system and reduce the energy costs in the future. We had new business opportunity that it could come because so many businesses coming. And also, we also have the opportunity in terms of market competitiveness for low carbon product as well. That the target of the plan that we are now focusing on. That no time for me. Just said, thank you very much.
You can have the second round. ขอบคุณครับ Dr. วีรพัฒน์เกียรติเฟื่องฟู Next would like to ask คุณจิรวรรณ Assistant Secretary General of the ERC Thailand to present her viewpoint and report on what the ERC is doing to support the government policy on this energy transition, especially on the renewable energy and electrification.
Thank you, Dr. Krujit. It's a great pleasure. Oh, actually, I have to say, good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here today for talking about this topic. I mean, it's the global topic, mobilize energy transition. So in my side, I'm gonna talk about how ERC support the development of energy transition. So first of all, I like to update the energy mix in Thailand last year. If you take a look on the graph, you will see the majority of the energy mix is natural gas. That is around 59%. For the coal and lignite and also the imported lignite, that should be around 18%. And for the domestic renewable that we have is around 10%. The most of domestic renewable that come from biomass is about 50%, and solar 20%, and wind farm. We also have the large hydro that is EGAT, existing hydropower. So if we combine all together, I mean the domestic renewable, the large hydro, and imported hydro, that is around 23%. So in this state that you see the solar, I mean, Thailand is like a sunshine state, but probably it's not today, it's raining. But if you see, they have just only 2% of the energy mix, I mean, currently. So we are waiting for the new plan. I think that could be more solar farm. Yeah. And next, everybody know that Thailand aims to achieve the carbon neutrality in 2050 and net zero emission in 2065. So what ERC support the energy transition? So I will talk about the first one, that one of the tools to achieve the carbon neutrality is increasing the renewable energy. In the transition of preparing the new energy plan, the NEPC, or National Energy Policy Council, had increased 5.2 gigawatt power procurement of renewable energy. That will be start commissioning in this year until 2030 under the FIT scheme of feed-in tariff. That is include the, the Galmo solar is about 2.3 gigawatt. The Galmo solar integrated battery storage, 1 gigawatt. Wind power, 1.5 gigawatt, and also biomass, about 2.3 gigawatts. This is all the policy framework. For the regulator, according to the policy, in September 2022, ERC released the power procurement regulation for renewable energy. for 5.2 gigawatt. I mean, many investors interested in this program. We have received about 629 proposals or projects. It's about 17 gigawatts, so it's like more than 3 times. And there are just only 175 proposal or project were selected. That is, it allow 4.85 gigawatt. Yeah, will be starting commercial in the end of this year. So it's solar farm and solar with battery. The second one that ERC support for the energy transition. We call this is the tariff. It's the new structure of tariff. We call utility green tariff or UGT. So it does a policy framework since 2022, and ERC adopt the policy to issue the criteria for determining of UGT rate. The objective of UGT to provide an option for customer who want to declare the use of renewable energy. This is to maintain the country competitiveness advantage in attracting the foreign direct investment, and this all to drive the goal of reducing in greenhouse gas emission and also to achieve the SDG goals. For the UGT tariff, there are 2 types of UGT, which is the first one that we call UGT1, which is user unspecific sources. That means the name of renewable power plant are not included in the agreement, electricity supply agreement. The tariff structure of UGT1, they have 2 structure. That is the normal tariff, it's uniform tariff, and plus the premium. But the premium, this is reflect to the REC of ICAT hydro, existing the large hydro. For the second type that we call UG2, this is the user-specific sources. That means the name of power plant are included in the supply agreement. And for the procurement for 8 gigawatt, the power, the renewable in this project will go to UGT2. So the component of the tariff comprise of generation, transmission, distribution, and administrative fee. These are the tariff, the tentative tariff, we brought to the public hearing in early this year. The UG2 is about 4.5 baht per unit. In UG2, we divide into 2 parts. Portfolio by the SCOD. Okay, the portfolio A that will start operation date in this year until 2027, and Port B will start SOD in 2028 until 2030. So I think this is, we are now, I think we are about to get ready to be announced in the final rate in the near future in coming month. So the third one is called ERC Sandbox projects. ERC introduced the initiative to assist the development of the energy transition. The project have to go to trial the RE trading market system, any new business models that related to the renewable energy transition, energy management system, and this to improve the regulation to be more flexibility and to promote the RE trading market. The first phase we got started in 2020. We have 25 projects that related to P2P trading, microgrid, battery storage, road aggregator, and the other phase that just begin in early this year. We have 29 projects to test many aspects, such as the platform, for trading the renewable or carbon credit or REC, any innovation that related to smart grid system to increase the grid flexibility, new energy trading business model. Yeah. This project is still ongoing. I mean, the Office of ERC is preparing the guideline for utility, for EGAT, MEA, and PA, and also for the participant in this project. The first one, the regulation for third-party access or open access. According to the National Energy Reform Plan to enhance the competitiveness in the power business and prescribed by the Energy Act, ERC issued the TPA framework guideline in May 2022. In the framework require, three utility, which is EGAT, PA, and MEA, to issue the TPA code that in line with the framework. But we are in the preparation stage. Once the policy, the TPA policy or scheme is set up by the NEPC or National Energy Policy Council, the national grid will be open for the utilization. So, it's up to the Ministry of Energy. Yeah. The last one that I gonna talk about that is simplifying of the licensing process. If you take a look on the graph showed distribution solar PV. In 2022, there were like about 570 megawatt. Last year, it's ramping up into 2,600 megawatt. It's about five times ramping up because the customer like commercial and industrial use, they install the solar PV and so the solar floating to be used in their factory and something like that. So we need to simplify and speed up the solar licensing process. But this way, ERC have to collaborate with the Ministry of Energy and also Ministry of Interior, to make the process simple. For example, in ERC license, we already shortening the time for permit from like 75 days to 50 days, reducing the unnecessary document, some document that redundant with the utilities, it's like technical document, something. And also you can apply via the, e-application, so not just only for the paper. So I think this will help to mobilize the energy transition. Final, I will conclude what is the trend forward in this coming year. As Dr. Budpat said, the NEP is not done yet. But I think to support the Thailand energy transition, more greenfield renewable energy project is coming. Distributed solar penetration is still on. The power trading with neighboring country, bilateral in the future should be like regional trading, it could be. And the last one, the policy framework for restructuring energy industry or power reform might be happen. Yeah. So the future technology that you already know, the grid scale battery storage system that I think we need that. And the new technology, hydrogen or even SMR, carbon capture is also the new technology to promote the advanced grid system for our country. So I expect NEP to get approved by the cabinet in this year, and will clearly show how Thailand commit to reduce the emission. Yeah, this is all my presentation today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. ขอบคุณครับคุณจิรวรรณ โรจน์เจริญชัย Assistant Secretary General of ERC. Next, I would like to ask คุณประวิตร เกษววงศ์ Deputy Director General of Department of Climate Change and Environment, to give his viewpoint on this Mobilize energy transition in Thailand. เชิญครับ
Thank you very much and good afternoon to everyone. I think you may know the plan of the energy from the Secretary General and the Deputy General that the Thailand has a very clear policy and strategy on the energy for the next future. And for us, for me, the Department of Climate Change and Environment, very newly department in Thailand, and I think that this department is very crucial, and we working together with our stakeholder like Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Agriculture, and Ministry of Industry, and so on. Because of the climate change is not handled by only one department, but we need the synergy among the government itself and private sector as well as the people. First of all, I'd like to recap the COP20 outcome, COP28 outcome, because of I think that everyone may know that the outcome of COP28 is all about, but someone thinking that is this a step back of the pathway to 1.5 degrees Celsius for the UNCCC target. And I think that from the time being, we luckily it has the raining outside, so the temperature is cooled down than the last month. And for the 7 months ago that we have the outcome of the COP28, that we promised that to mitigate the greenhouse gas very challenge to Thailand as the developing country. So from the review of the global situation or global stocktake is show that we are not able to go along with the pathway of the 1.5 degree Celsius that we are committed at the Paris Agreement. And secondly, the greenhouse gas emission, we think that we try to accelerate the just energy transition. Because why just energy transition? Because I just always talking about the energy transition, because we have the side of the developed country and developing country. So developing country needs some support. For example, like the financial support, technology support, as well as the capacity building to meet the energy transition. So that's why we put some just energy transition above the energy transition. And we like to accelerate, like triple up the renewable energy and double up the energy efficiency for each country. So not only the mitigation concern, but adaptation is very crucial because we get adverse impact from the climate change now, and will very severe incident will happen in the futures. Like the heat wave will take any longer, and the temperature is very fluctuated. Like Thailand, we have forecast that this year we meet the El Nino, but the La Nina is coming. So we have to preparing for any flooding in the couple months in the rainy season. So, and of course, the climate finance is very important because the developed country just pledged to support the developing countries around 100 billion US dollar per year, but we are not able to meet the target of the financial support. So loss and damage fund is very important, and I think that at the beginning of the meeting of the COP28, we also agree on the set up the loss and damage, and we get the seeding money around 800 million US dollar for this loss and damage fund. But for the regulation to using the funding is being discussing, and the World Bank is the trust fund, the trustee for the managing the fund. And also, I just talking about the just transition into the green energy, and most of the panelists just always say that we are going to the green energy, and also the innovation energy like the hydrogen is very important for us, and also the technology is very important, like the CCS, CCUS, and as well as the bioenergy CCS is very important to us as well. Besides the adaptation and mitigation, we also agree on the public health crisis for this time being, and also the agriculture and food security is very important for us, and the capacity building that I just mentioned, that very important for the developing country. So as the Department of Climate Change and Environment, what we been doing after the COP28? So I think just the four parts that I'd like to reiterate, that we've been, firstly, we've been doing the formulation of the draft of Climate Change Act. This is the tool and mechanism for driving the our target into that we are planning. So the Climate Change Act, we plan to submit to the cabinet by perhaps June or July this year, and after that I think the internal process will go into the parliament to consideration, and the draft is already submitted to the public hearing already, and I think for the couple weeks we try to submit to the National Committee on Climate Change. In the Climate Change Act is including the institution management, including the mitigation, including the adaptation plan, and as well as the incentive of the financial mechanism, for example, like carbon tax for carbon market, and as well as the emission trading scheme that we've been discussed, that the carbon trading scheme is very important for Thailand, like Thailand to export to the EU. The CBAM is very challenging for us. Therefore, we try to facilitate our private sector to cope with the CBAM that will affect to our export. The second one is the support the stakeholder. That I just mentioned, that we formulate the action plan on NDC first, because at the NDC first, that you may see on the slide of the two panelists, that we targeted that by 2030, we will reduce the greenhouse gas emission by 30 or 40%. This is because we are already submit to the UNFCCC, and we have to apply or integrate this plan to any concerned agency, like Ministry of Energy, that is the most emission from these sectors. So the NDC, first NDC will, we plan to submit to the cabinet by next month, I think, perhaps, for if the cabinet approve the concern relevant agency will integrate into that plan. And the second one that I just already mentioned, the tool and mechanism that's very important for driving our target to in the near future. For example, like I think carbon tax, taxonomy, green bond, carbon pricing, emission trading scheme, and so on. And also the technology transfer is very important as well, right? Like the panelists just mentioned, the CCS, CCUS, for example. So is this very challenge for the near future is the submission of the NDC second. Because we have the commitment to submit the NDC second by 2025 before the COP30 in Brazil. So the department DCCE by the support of the GIZ try to study and develop the NDC the second. But the challenges is in the international arena or the COP28, they targeted that each country have to scale up the greenhouse gas emission by 60%. This is very challenges. Therefore, I think that any technology that is coming in the future is very important for us. And I think that DCCC as the focal point, as the regulator, facilitator, or accommodator will support each department or each ministry. And also, I think that we set up the data centers to accumulate our emission trade, our emission greenhouse gas emission by the major sectors that I just mentioned. So this is for DCCE. Thank you.
Thank you. ขอบคุณครับคุณประวิตร Now I will have the second round presentation for each speaker of about 5 minutes each, but in reverse order. I'll ask คุณประวิตร first, you know. Deputy Director General Pravitt has highlighted the activities and aims of the Thai government through this Department of Climate Change and Environment post COP28 in Abu Dhabi. He presents a lot of very ambitious targets, you know. But at least we know that the audience now who come to this forum know that Thailand have an NDC target of 40% reduction from BAU by the year 2030. And we have a carbon neutrality target of 2050 and net zero greenhouse gas emission by 2065. Kun Pawit mentioned something is very interesting and intriguing to me is the word just transition. I think it's connote perhaps a fair transition, fair between developing country and developed country, or maybe it stands for justify transition. If it's not justified, we don't do it or something like that. And he also mentioned something very important that Thailand is going to have a climate change law soon. They finished drafting the climate change law and will submit to cabinet perhaps next month or next July, this July. And I understand that there will be a lot of tools and mechanisms in that climate change law, like ETS, emission trading scheme, and climate fund, climate fund, and also carbon tax. I don't know whether the finance department, the ministry will agree with that, you know, to be under your law. But my question to you is, do you envisage a carbon market, a true and regulate carbon market in Thailand to enhance this uh, carbon reduction, greenhouse gas emission, carbon trading between entities in Thailand? And also, what do you think about trading across border? Is that allowable or not allowable in consideration of the Article 6 of the Paris Agreement?
Thank you very much. And
Sorry for difficult question.
it's very difficult. It's very important question. Regarding the carbon market, we know that today we only have like TWO. TGO is responsible for the TWO. Is voluntary scheme for the carbon trading, but TGO are developing like TWO premium to align with the international standard like VERA or gold standard. However, because of the Prime Minister just mentioned that he would like Thailand as a hub of the carbon trading or carbon market. So with this regard, so Department DCCE already discussed how can we develop the standard to parallel to the gold standard or VERA. So we discussed with VERA and how can we scale up our standard to can making the transaction between Thailand and international market. So because it's very important. So as you know that we having the forestry carbon sink, that is the source of the carbon dioxide or carbon sink in the tree. So the carbon market is very important to the people, and the people know that if they would like to planting our tree, and they can earn money from the trees. So that's why the government have to accelerate the environment of the carbon market in Thailand. And the second one is the law, right? The law for the CBAM. CBAM is like you know that is I would say that is a kind of trading barriers, but with the positive trading barrier is how can we move on to the low carbon society or green society in Thailand. That's why the Climate Change Act provide the environment of the how can we moving to dealing with the CBAM. Like I said, just ETS, carbon pricing, that is the core of the trading of the product that have the high emission on the greenhouse gas. That's why we just start from the sort of the products. So in the European Union or anywhere else can submit or support our scheme. Yeah. And for the Article 6, we have the first with the Swiss, and now we are trying to revise the regulation of the trading for the bilateral trading of the carbon trading with the international community. So that's why we are thinking that 40% is divided in the domestic and international activities, and also the Article 6. This is we can achieve our target by 2050.
Okay. So I take it that under the climate change law you are drafting, you address this carbon market, ETS and carbon pricing.
Yeah, we
Okay.
drafting
Yeah.
climate change acts for facilitate the carbon market in Thailand.
Thank you, Kun Pawit. Let me move to Kun Jirawan. Okay, I think you present a very wide-ranging topic of what ERC has been doing and is doing to support the government policy on energy transition. The one that I note is that first, you have increased RE capacity by announcing a procurement of 5,200 megawatt renewable energy and procurement and award 4,800 megawatt already. Second, ERC has also about to announce the rule on the utility green tariff for the customer that want to buy green electricity. That's UGT1 and UGT2. And also, ERC is very famous in making sandbox. There are now almost 50 sandbox already at ERC on many projects, peer-to-peer trading, battery storage. And also, DRC is also working on third-party access regulation for electricity market. I think you have been working for it for too long now. It's still on hold. And the fifth is a simplified licensing process. Okay, this will help the private sector and looking to reform and restructuring electricity market so allow more of the renewable energy trade. So the question I would like to ask is that with regard to liberalization of the electricity market and the TPA code, the wheeling charge, standby rate rules, etc. When are you coming up with the real one? Okay, been working for almost 4 years now.
I mean, the draft of TPA code, I mean, utility already submit to us. We still on the final review. And also for the billing charge mechanism, I mean, this is it's like challenge for us also because we have no idea yet what the policy framework is going to be, what is the market going to be like. And we have the utility, in the state on price, which is PEA and MEA, and also EGAT for the high voltage level. So I would say we are in the preparation stage as prescribed by the law. And once the policy set up by the NAPC, we are just about ready to go.
Okay, thank you. I think you should pass that question to your commissioner who is sitting here so they can do something about it. But the answer is that waiting for the government. So we have a new government waiting for the new government, which is now 8 months old already. The next, I'll pass to Kun Director General Weerapat. Also, your impressive presentation elaborate of what under the pipeline of the Energy Ministry to promote and implement renewable energy and energy transition. The one that I know is that to have a target of energy efficiency by more than 30%, saving more energy than today by 30%, renewable energy portfolio by more than 50%, electric vehicle 30% production by year 2030. And I'm glad there's still 4D and 1E in there in this national energy plan. This national energy plan supposed to be a 15 year starting last year, you know. So it now shortened to 14 year, 2024 to 2037. And I'm glad that you still stressed under the current being under hearing power development plan, stress the importance of the triangle balance between security, affordability, and environment. But most of the activity now is stressing on the environment, increased portfolio. So what insurance or assurance can you make that the electricity tariff to consumer would not go higher than 5 baht in the near future if we implement all these that you contemplate in your NER? And also you put the SMR there without the word nuclear, you know, to avoid controversy. But I think it should be, you should have a courage to put it there and say, we need this in order to achieve our target. Otherwise, we won't. Okay.
All right, thank you very much for your question, Dr. Krujit. Before I answer your question, I have to briefly talk about what we have done in our power development plan. We have the model that we developed. The model that this model will we call the optimization model. When we are going to think about the triangle that we want to set, for example, if we talk about the emission ceiling that we can emit each year, so we have to put this in our model. One thing. Another thing is that we want to if we don't want the tariff to go high. How much you don't want the tariff to go high, we don't know. But when we put the power plants in the model, when it's run, it optimized. We have the number of LRV of 0.7 day per year. It means that we have the ceiling of the security number. We have the ceiling of the emission number. The remaining is tariff. So we put the power plants in the model and we ran. We call it optimization model. It's developed. We have, as you can say, we have 3 models run in Apple. One model developed from Chulalongkorn. One model developed that EGAT used in their model. Another one we developed with USAID and Asia Foundation. So we have 3 models that we run and optimize, and then we have to see if we put this kind of plan. For example, if we put the solar in the model, and it means that we meet the environment. But the thing is, the security is higher than 0.7. This solar power plants will kick out of the model. And the model is run, optimization is run and run and run and run until we got the most, I think, optimization model. And this we already done it, and that's why we have seen that the SMI is coming at the end of the plan, because of we need the security, we need the price, we need the emission, everything, and the model tell us that if we don't have SMR in the plan, we cannot meet this kind of triangle. That the models run. That's why we have the SMR by the end of the plan in 2037. That is coming. But because of we have an outlook of carbon neutrality until 2050, it means that it's longer. And it means that after 2037, SMR will play a big role in this as well. But we have the outlook for that. But we haven't seen yet in this PDP, but we can see at the end of the plan. But if we take a look at the future after 2037, we can see the role of the SMR. Another thing is the hydrogen. As I said, hydrogen is one thing that we use to reduce the emission of the base load combined cycle or fossil fuel that we have in the model as well. Because if we let the existing power plant run until they're retired, the emission from such power plants will higher than the ceiling as well. That's why we have to find something to reduce the emission in such fossil fuel power plants. That's the thing that we run in the model. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think I have 1 minute more. Anyone want to have question? Oh, Kun Vilaiporn, you promised not to ask question.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling sleepy, so I'm still hearing. May I ask Dr. Veerapat, I understand that in international standard, the role of a policy maker and regulatory maker, commissioner, have different. But in case of Thailand, that's still mixed, like defining FIT, defining the number of licensing for each energy still belong to the role of the Ministry of Energy. So what do you think of this issue? And the ministry has any idea of changing this structure into international system? Thank you. And a second thing that just want to not ask to Kun Jirawan, but just comment related to Dr. Kurajit regarding the sandbox. I think you guarantee to the Energy Commissioner that if you can complete it, not a sandbox anymore, you should be promoted to be Deputy Secretary General. Thank you.
Just 1 minute. 30 seconds only. Answer, Kun Vilaiporn.
Oh, very, very difficult to answer because I will just tell the process of the policy and the regulations. When we want to have, when we want to procure the power, the process in the power government sector is we set the target, we set the number of not the number. We have the capacity, how much we want for the capacity of power, and also what kind of power plant that we need, renewable energies or the combined cycle natural gas or the solar, for example. And then in terms of renewable energy, the government set the FIT, the feed-in tariff, because in the past we set the FIT because we study that if we want to we want to purchase the power at this rate, it mean that the company the power company can get the return, right? Can get a basic return, and then and also the FIT is not impact on the tariffs as well. All right.
But do you accept that this is not the international standard?
Sorry?
Do you accept that this is not the international practice?
International practice, because the FIT that we use is they use very widely used. I don't think that FIT is an international standard because in terms of calculating the FIT, we use the same as some other country that use for calculating the FIT. But the thing is for the investment for the cost of the power plant from each country and also the source weekend is different. That's why we not equal. But I think the term and the calculation, the formulation is the same.
Okay. I think you can ask him afterward. นะครับ With that, we come to a close of this afternoon session on Thailand highlight energy policy and regulation to mobilize energy transition. I would like to ask the audience to give a round of applause to our speaker and panelists. First, Dr. Veerapat Kiatfingfu, Director General of EPPO, คุณ Jirawan Ro Charan Chai, Assistant Secretary General of the ERC and คุณประวิตร เกษววงศ์ Deputy Director General of the Department of Climate Change and Environment. Thank you very much.